What's up, guys? So this video is about drugs and alcohol. When I talked about, the reason why I feel like, and I never want to say never, that I likely would not move back to Los Angeles. I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't have a blast in LA. There were nights that it was just too much fun to handle, like literally, like some of the most fun that I've ever had in my life. But it did appeal to my lower nature, and I'm not going to get too much into detail because I don't want to incriminate myself. But when I, would walk the streets of Hollywood, I saw how bad the drug problem had really taken Los Angeles, and the residents of LA. It was just like zombie land. It was like everybody was hooked on something, and I never seen drugs so bad. And I know that, I live in DC, and the crack epidemic hit DC pretty hard, but I'd never seen anything like the drug epidemic that I saw in Los Angeles. And it was like a part of the lifestyle. Like literally, like everywhere you go would be people on, heavy drugs. And I've been bartending. I've been a bartender for over 10 years at this point. And, I recently decided that I didn't want to be bartending anymore, because I do believe in the sense of like, and even though alcohol is legal in our country and marijuana is, legal in a lot of places, both recreationally and medicinally, I didn't want to be a part of to me, like I truly do believe in karma, and I didn't want my career to be centered around basically distributing toxins to people. I didn't feel like that was going to be good karma, and that was nothing that I ever considered early when I began bartending. It was just like, oh, this is cool. I'm a social person, and I love to meet people. I'm chatty and all that stuff, so this is cool. And I've had great times. I've met some like really good people, made some good friends along the way. But I just woke up one day and I just said, I don't know if this is what I'm here for. I don't think that this is my purpose. And the effects of alcohol and, DUIs and just all of the poor decisions that people make when they're drunk, I just didn't want to be a part of it. And so this video, like I said, is about drugs and alcohol and self-mastery. And the reason why I've included the topic of self-mastery is, as an artist, I know that a lot of times, artists do different drugs and things like that to help free them and have them be less inhibited. But it does go along the line with self-mastery. Like, if you are a master of yourself, then you don't necessarily need a stimulant to be able to get you there. And so, on this journey of self-mastery, I'll do different tricks. Like, you'll see me a lot of times videos. Like right now I have on makeup, but most videos I don't even put on makeup because I feel like women should, I'm not going to speak for all women, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with makeup, but for me, I wanted to feel acceptable to the world without it. I wanted to feel like I was still attractive without any makeup on. And, eliminating the barrier between me and people. And so that goes along with, drugs and alcohol. I used to smoke, regularly, especially in California. I got my medical marijuana card, and I did it legally. I would go to the dispensary and everything like that. But I would notice that the first couple of days I would have this storm of creativity. I would just literally, there were times I'd be up all night just writing and doing choreography. But by 3 or 4 days into it of heavily smoking marijuana, my motivation would be diminishing, and I'd have less motivation than I did before I even started. And I noticed that in order for me to feel entirely free-spirited, a lot of times I would feel like I had to smoke, and I didn't like that. As a dancer, I wanted to feel like I can still, I can still dance like without marijuana. I can still be uninhibited without it. I don't need this substance to make me more free spirited or make me more creative. I should be able to stimulate my creativity at any time. And like I said, I'm not in opposition to it. I feel like, even Dr. Sebi, like a lot of people have endorsed marijuana. I don't think that there's really anything wrong with it. But the issue is that when you don't know the source. So, a lot of us who are into our health and what we put inside of our bodies, we go to grocery stores and we read labels. We read the ingredients. We want to make sure that there's no genetically modified ingredients in it. And a lot of times, even through the dispensaries, do you know the source and the origin of the cannabis that you're buying? And how can you definitely say that it's pure? How can you say that there's nothing else mixed inside of it? And DC is one of those places that this substance called K2 has kind of taken our city by storm, where people are having these really adverse reactions to this substance called K2. And it's a synthetic cannabis. And I've just seen time and time again, people's lives get ruined by drugs and alcohol. And the idea of, not being able to express yourself without it, not being able to, if you're a guy, like, you should have the confidence to be able to go up to that girl that you like and holler at her without having a couple drinks and having that liquid, liquor courage. Like, you should be able to do that on your own. So in order to, master yourself, take out everything, take out drugs, take out alcohol, take out everything to really get to know who you are as a person. And then give yourself different challenges. I'm going to go talk to that beautiful girl completely sober and build up the confidence to do it. I'm going to be the first one on the dance floor. I'm going to go out and party, and I'm not going to have one drink, and I'm going to be the first person on the dance floor and not care at all about, who's judging me and who's talking about me at all. And I'm going to enjoy myself without drugs or without alcohol. And the truth of the matter is, alcohol is a poison. And so, it's also a form of escapism. And so it's like, if you can work on what's in your life that you want to escape from and, work on it and not have to have that as a part of your reality, then you won't need a substance to assist you in escaping. Right? Doesn't that make sense? And I'm not trying to sound like Miss Holier Than Thou or Miss Preachy. Like I said before, I have a dark side too. I love to have a good time, probably more than most. Okay, I thoroughly enjoy myself when I have the opportunity to. But to the point where, there's times where I've overindulged. And I have very few regrets, but there are things that if I could do it all over, maybe I would have done things a little bit differently. And so on this path to self-mastery and, looking to find joy within your life, you can't be indulging in depressants and expect to have a joyful life. Alcohol is a depressant. There's another side to these opioids that people are on. And it's like, why do you have to pop a pill in order to feel good? Like, there's a lot of natural remedies in order to feel good. In fact, let me show you guys something that I have. I said that I was going to do a video on vitamins, but this is a vitamin that I actually got from Blue Nile, which is in the area. It's a health store. It's called 5-HTP. It's all natural. There's no additives. There's no like animal products in here. No gelatin. Nothing. It's non-habit forming whatsoever. And yeah, we live in a very stressful world. We live in a world that is toxic and can wear and tear on us, especially if you live in a city. I know that New York City used to be my favorite city, but as I got older and I returned, I'm like, whoa, this place is very stressful. It's a lot of different people here. It's a lot of different energies. And so if you do need, supplements, it's mostly your diet, fruit and vegetables, because if you are eating like a lot of animals have feelings. Animals have different energy also. So when you're eating a lot of animals, especially the way that they slaughter cows, they put them in a line, and the cows are seeing like their best friends get slaughtered. And as anybody who has a pet, a cat or a dog, knows that when you get home, that animal, like, they get excited, they start jumping up and down and wagging their tails. And like, there's nobody that has a dog that can tell me that animals don't feel things, that they don't feel a connection to you. And so when we are eating animals, we are also ingesting their emotions, and unfortunately, they're not being slaughtered in a proper way. Now, there are people who eat halal or they eat kosher, and it's very specific on how the animals should be slaughtered, and it's in a very compassionate way. It's in a way that is not so detrimental to their emotional well-being, and that's a little bit more. That's better eating, in my opinion. But I stay away from animals at this point entirely. We have too much good food that is not animal products that we can consume. And like I said before, I'm going to go through a lot of my different recipes. But there's just so much good food, like delicious food, that doesn't include animals. So back to the supplement. This is something that you can take if you are in a stressful environment. If you have a stressful job or something like that, take an all-natural supplement that's going to have no side effects. That's not going to have you up and down. Like, those are a little bit more helpful ways in order to balance your mood and balance out your stress. But drugs form habits. People lose years off of their lives from drugs. And I was seeing these people in Hollywood, and I was just seeing, like, it wasn't just their physical appearance. It wasn't just like the wrinkles and the like really poor skin that the drugs had caused, or like the missing teeth. I know my teeth aren't perfect, but at least I have my original teeth. Like, you would see these people with no teeth, and it was also their spirit. It was like their joy, their life had just been sucked out of them, and drugs had taken like every ounce of their joy. And it's crazy because they started like, oh yeah, we just want to be free, we want to be happy, we want to party, we want to have a good time. And that's what happened at first. Their first line of coke, or the first pill that they popped, it was a great experience, until they began to rely on that just to have a good time. And now it's sucked away their life force and their spirit, and they've become slaves to this drug. So anybody that needs to wean themselves off of drugs or alcohol, again, my email address is Noir, the hip hop blogger. I can give you tons of recommendations. Of course, starting with the detox. The detox is specifically 21 days because it takes 3 weeks to either formulate or break a habit. So if you want to start doing something more positive, like waking up earlier, being more productive, or going for a run every morning, do it for 3 weeks, and then your body will just naturally wake up at 5:30 or 6 a.m. or naturally want to go for that run naturally. As long as you do something for 3 weeks, it's proven, it's a scientific thing, that if you consistently do something for 3 weeks, it becomes a habit. And that can be a good habit, or that can be a bad habit. And yeah, if you want to know who you really are, get back to your real personality, try eliminating drugs and alcohol from your life. And if it's something that's become a habit, it's going to be tough at first, but again, there's various tools and sources that can help you out. And I would strongly recommend this all-natural detox through Tahuni Ma'atara. I'd started doing it because as a bartender, you always have people coming in, guys coming in, trying to buy you a drink. And when it's your job and you're working someplace 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week, and people are doing shots and stuff like that. So I wanted to, purge the lifestyle. I decided that I was done with that. And I also wanted to begin to gain better habits. And the detox has worked out for me tremendously. You can see my skin, you know, with or without makeup, my skin is just wonderful from this detox and from my lifestyle. Every single time you work out, you're sweating and you are getting all of the toxins out of your pores. So that helps tremendously with your skin and your glow. I don't wear a ton of makeup. I don't have to because of the fruit and vegetables and, you know, my lifestyle. I'm not leaving the bar at 4 a.m. anymore after working a 10, 12-hour shift. I'm going to bed early. I'm figuring out other ways to make a living for myself that are more in accordance with what I believe my purpose is. And by the way, holler at me, Noir, the hip hop blogger. I'm also certified in Reiki. And so if you need some energy work done, I got my certification in California. If you need some energy work done, just let me know. And then there's also a lot of people who also do, you know, spiritual work that I'd be able to put you on with, who do chakra balances and things like that, really to get at the root of why you are addicted to these substances. So, you know, keep hope. There's tools and resources, including myself, to get you on the right path. And peace.